you got to wonder if the Raiders personally ended survivor pools for most of America in the first 3 weeks of this season because they came back and beat the Ravens.
Right.
I mean, shocked the Ravens by coming back in Baltimore. I mean, the Ravens have a double-digit lead at home. After damn near beating the defending champs, having an extra week, weekend of rest. They got a mini bye. Isaiah likely went out and bought smaller shoes for the occasion.
At white ones.
Or possibly.
Yep.
And they're up at home. They're not going to go to 0-2, right? And the Raiders are like, we're going to go all the way across the country, early window, West Coast team at 1 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to go beat them. A more rested team after they went and got swapped paint with the Chargers in week 1. They're going to hop a flight all the way east and beat the Ravens and then turn around, come home, and get boat raced by the Carolina Panthers and Andy Dalton. How does that happen?
I have no idea.
And talk about flipped narratives. But the Panthers, supposed to be the worst organization in the NFL. Not just the worst organization in the NFL, but maybe in the history of organizations. And when I say organization, anything, sports, trade unions, name it. I mean, honestly, name an organization. I don't know. Parent teacher. Right?
PTA.
They're supposed to be the worst ever. And we were sitting here wondering, how they handled Bryce Young, complete, utter malpractice. I got sent to me because, again, I don't see it live because I'm competing with them. I saw my friends and colleagues at ESPN went all the way in on the Panthers. Absolutely all the way in on them about wouldn't want to play for them, wouldn't want to coach for them, wouldn't want to, what they've done is the worst. Fox, Jimmy Johnson went all in on the Panthers. And Daniel Jeremiah, who I adore, I trust him and his eye and evaluation eye more than anybody else. He said it looks like the worst roster in the league. When he saw him last week against the Chargers, he saw him all 4 quarters. Turned out to be Bryce Young's last start. And you got to wonder when his next one's going to be. Because Andy Dalton showed it's looks like it's operator error. Mm-hmm. Deontay Johnson.
He's back.
Holy cow.
He's back.
Where was that guy? And Adam Thielen made an incredible grab. That's what happens when hope brings about belief, and suddenly plays get made and defense buzzes around. Can't make it up. The Panthers weren't just 0-2. They were a hard 0-2. They were not even close to putting another number in that win column. They were staring. I've never seen a team where you could truly believe 0-2 could become 0-17, staring it right in the face.
Absolutely.
Kind of, yeah. And then
were they minus 60-something point differential? It was gross.
And then Andy Dalton becomes the first quarterback with a 300-yard game and 3 touchdowns or more in the league this year. First one. It's a guy with a clipboard and an earbud and trying to coach up Bryce Young. Unbelievable. Can't make it up, man. Do we have sound from Mr. Dalton? This is it. The red rifle, everybody. Getting it done. Hair. And now Carolina is 1-2. A game out of first. What?
I mean, it felt great. Obviously, for me to get the opportunity to be out there and for it to go the way it did, couldn't have drawn it up any better. I get a chance to just be me and play and to be out there how I normally am. I'm normally pretty calm. I'm normally relaxed. Guys were having fun. I was trying to make sure the guys were having fun because you put it in a ton of work for this thing. And for you to get out there, it's like now you get a time to just go and enjoy the work that you put in. And it makes it nice when the day goes like it did today. And they're not all going to go like this, but when they do, it's you got to enjoy that.
You know what you can't make up now? You know the next 2 games are against Cincinnati and Chicago.
Oh, come on, really?
Yep. Carolina's next 2 games.
That's unbelievable.
Against the team that birthed him. And one of the many teams he's played for, hoping that he could turn a season around, and there you have it.
By the way, he's going to win both of those games.
Home against Atlanta. Let's go.
Andy Dalton's about to go on a run.
Let me tell you something. Saints week 9. They play Dallas too. He's going on a tour. And let me just say this to you, that week 10 game in Germany, Carolina and Giants in Germany on NFL Network. Andy, all of us at NFL Network feel like the Bills fans back in the day. We're going to raise money for your charity. If you make that game something people want to watch. I'm straight up. I'm just going to tell everybody straight up right now. And the Giants won too. Oh, that Munich game, I mean, it was like The Undertaker. And it just comes straight up off the turf a little bit. But in all seriousness, that's why you watch sports, because you don't know what's going to happen. Now, of course, the Raiders don't want to be the Washington Generals of this Globetrotter equation. I don't know what happened right there. Honestly, what week 1, they're button heads with the Chargers and showing some serious mettle that they then cashed in with a win that nobody saw coming, and then they were a speed bump. And Aiden O'Connell finished the game.
Yeah.
We saw our first glimpse of any time. I feel for this guy. Anytime he's on the sideline, sitting on the bench and looking miserable, which may just be his resting face. I don't know. Devontae Adams, we just assume he wants out. That's it. We're hoping some microphone's picking up something, because he's got to be sitting there going, what's happened here? Antonio Pierce is taking notes, mental notes. This is an interesting soundbite postgame.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. I think as the game went on, I don't think it was a team. I think there was definitely some individuals that made business decisions, and will make business decisions going forward as well.
Now, for those who might need a crash course on what business decisions mean, what is somebody says somebody's making a business decision? What does that mean? That means they're turning down contact.
Yep.
They're turning down hard play because they're making a business decision, meaning for me to continue making money and for me to keep cashing my check, I need to stay healthy, and I'm not putting my body on the line for something that's potentially a lost cause. That's the insinuation of a business decision. Deion Sanders taught me that phrase. He also talked about how when running backs who wanted a new contract ran really well, he said they were running with light pockets. And when somebody's not trying to tackle Derrick Henry, they're making a business decision. I'm not getting in front of that. I wonder who those business decision choosers, who may soon be beggars for playing time, are going to be. Keep an eye on that for the Raiders. Again, it's just 1-2. Next up for them is Cleveland at home. Man. That's a team that they've looked terrible at home twice to NFC East teams. Terrible. And you've got to sit here and wonder, what are they going to do if Deshaun Watson isn't good anymore? And is that the reason why? For sure. I mean, the Browns have got that problem with Deshaun Watson, and you cannot deny it. He doesn't look like the guy from the Texans with consistency anymore. They got a huge break where the Giants coughed up. Like, who returns an opening kickoff anymore in the NFL? And the Giants do it and cough it up, and one play later, it's Amari Cooper in the end zone, and they seem to be dining off that long enough until the Giants got their sea legs under them and scored. The Browns defense, vaunted defense, got their first takeaway of the season in this game. Amari Cooper did score twice. I understand Nick Chubb's hurt. I know Njoku's out. I get it, but there's injuries everywhere. Just look at the Niners and the Rams, who we'll talk about shortly. Hey, Browns, that's the problem, is his contract. You can't get out of it until, I believe, let me look it up. I wrote it down here. Here it is. The end of time. The end of time. That's how long his contract runs.
That's long.
To pay him off.
It's a long time.
And you got to sit here and wonder, do you turn to the W eater or what? Do you do that? Because if you do that in week 4,
we got to have a conversation.
What do you do?
I think we got to have a conversation about it.
Joe Flacco showed how the offense can be run by somebody who's almost a decade removed from his ARP card. I mean, straight up. He showed you how to run it without Nick Chubb, I might add. But with Njoku, who hopefully they can get back soon enough. Cleveland's at Washington and at Philadelphia. They got 3 in a row on the road, and maybe that's good for them because they sure aren't playing well in front of the dog pound. At Vegas, at Washington,
Those are
at
games
Philly.
they should compete in and have real good chances to win.
Well, they've competed in their last 2 games. There was non-compete week 1. It looked like they it's just that when another team scores 2 touchdowns, you feel like they're down 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because offensively, it's just it's brutal looking. And that's not the Houston Texan that you traded your entire organization for. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.